Let's get it.
Let's get it. They hear us. And we got a special guest for y'all. We're locking in, man.
So, yes, sir. Let's get to it. We're so glad to be on here live with our guest, Adwella. He's an award-winning global musician, global football coach, and also Virginia State champion. Not a lot of people have that kind of resume. We're so happy to have you on, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. Man, so thankful to have you on here. So we'll jump into, kind of get right to it. We're gonna do a series of questions with you and just kind of talk about various topics. So first one's gonna be program turnaround and leadership. So, you recently took over at Chancellor High School as the head football coach. And, me and Bryn obviously played there. You're familiar with the program before you started coaching there. When you first took over this program after a decade of losing, what was the first thing you changed and why?
Um, Religious mindset. That's the first thing I could change. I was kind of hard late in the process. So for what I believe in, the first thing you got to change is people.
Yeah.
So really, in hindsight, I should have changed some people. I'm gonna be honest with that.
Hmm.
People are not going to change. Our culture's not going to change unless you change people. And that doesn't always mean get rid of people. It's like, okay, instant buy-in from people who are going to be involved. Um,
Yep.
and if they're not, obviously, again, if there's been a decade of losing, there's going to be some differences in philosophy. There's going to be some differences in approach. And that's
Yeah.
okay. But just understand who's a good fit and who's not. That was the first thing I should have done. The people who were optional, who had the the not the luxury or privilege, like the ability to get rid of if they were not bought in. And then that's
Yeah.
the first thing I should have done. But really just put in mindset and put in my expectations. I really wish I'd have made more point in my resume where I've been.
Hmm.
Drive my point home because I do some things in a bit of an unorthodox way. So
Yeah.
I understand people are going to think, certain things are weird, certain things are different.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, you're going to have to change everything if you're going to change the program. If you're going to talk about, hey, what are you going to do differently? If the answer's not everything, then it's probably a problem, or you're
Yeah.
okay with the way things were before you got there. So, um, yeah, I was coming
100%.
in trying to change everything, man. And again, in high school ball, I love the challenge that you kind of inherit the people, inherit the players you have. Um, and I inherited some pretty good talent, and just some mindset things and culture
Yeah.
change things that I ran out of time to fix. And I'm not going to blame anybody but myself for that, because I'm
Yeah.
ultimately, I'm the head coach of the program, so I'm responsible for that. But um, ultimately, things changed in the way that they did because I guess time. So that's about it.
Yeah, and so just kind of expand on that a little bit because you inherited, as a football coach, you take the players that are obviously on the team already, and then you got new freshmen coming in. You may have some new transfers. How do
Mm.
you how do you rebuild belief in players who are only experienced to losing? Because you had probably your rising seniors now before you experience, a lot of losses. Like how do you
Mm.
rebuild that winning culture, into
Really,
them?
for us, it won't just the players; it was the infrastructure, the support staff, the previous staff that I retained, and things of that nature as well. That thing, it's human nature. So losing wears on you, regardless of how resilient you say you are, regardless of how mentally tough you say you are. Um, I would say it's a lot easier in the program to change things around, and that's why the turnarounds happen so quickly at my other spots. Because again, in the pro game, if guys aren't buying, you just change people. It's not a big deal. If guys don't want to buy in, cool, find someone else. And it's a long line of people just like you or better looking for an
Mhm.
opportunity. With us, we inherited 17 seniors, so in hindsight
Yeah.
looking outside looking in, if you say you inherit 17 seniors, you're supposed to be pretty good. Um, and again, we were more competitive. Obviously, we scored more points offensively. We had some issues with controlling the football and possessing the football. Also some issues on special teams as well. But really, those things are just mindset, right? And
Yeah.
it's not to throw anybody under the bus. When you've spent 3.5 years of your young adult lives, you've changed as a person. You guys have been in the system, been in a program. You've changed as a person, but the program and the tenets of the program and what's being preached to you are there. It's kind of hard to abandon all that, right? With blind trust of someone that you barely know, and go in a different direction. So it was a big task for me to come in and gain trust, while at the
Yeah.
same time saying, hey, we got work to do. and we got to pivot and go in another direction and go in another direction pretty fast
Yeah.
in order to be successful. So again, I, I attribute us having a rough year this past year, just running out of time. Honestly, had a bunch of good kids, had a bunch of some athletes as far as athletic ability goes.
Mhm.
Just again, shifting mindset is the hardest thing to do, and to go, how do I go about doing that? It's been a work in progress for
Yeah.
me. Guys who I've coached, know I'm pretty much a hard charger, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? As far as me putting in my way of doing things and not being very what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not compromising too much with what I believe in. I'm not compromising
Yeah.
too much with what I got going on.
Yeah.
So guys getting used to my style. It can be a bit old school, and I understand that. It can be a bit different, but here's where we're at. So that
Yeah. No,
for
and I've
me,
always. Yep.
go ahead, man.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
It's been a work in progress. It's been a work in progress trying to find what reaches these young men the best. Um, the good thing is I've had a good staff, a couple good members of staff that I brought in have been with me in other places and understand how I operate. So our young people, our freshmen, have come in under my program. So our freshman class and our young guys, again, our JV program did pretty well because
Mhm.
the basic tenets and the foundation of what I bring as a program have already put in place, and that's the positive we can bring into it. And again, right around the middle of the season, when I realized, okay, things are going to be tough sledding for us. Could I bring some young talent up and win a couple more games? Yes. Um, will I do that at the sacrifice of what the culture will be the next 4 or 5 years? No. So we decided to keep those young guys together, keep those JV guys together, let them have some success, let them get some confidence, let them be
Yeah.
involved in how I coach, and understand and trust that because I've got Coach Best, my JV head coach, my assistant head coach, and special team coordinator, has been with me as Spotsy, this and that. So and understand how I operate. So
Mhm.
a guy that's again former drill instructor in the Marine Corps as well. So bringing that discipline,
Yep.
bringing that consistency, um, that was pretty good for our young people to have them, a little shock value. But hey, they're coming in the program. This is how we're doing things, and young people don't know any better. So it's kind of cool that they're impressionable, and that's the
Yeah.
best and worst thing of it all because they're impressionable. You got one chance to lead them in a positive manner or lead them
Yep.
down the wrong road, and we've got them on the right track. So.
That's
That's what
awesome.
I found out. Just hey, try to push these guys who are older as far as they can,
Hmm.
and try to press to them, hey, the sense of urgency because they don't have that much longer to go, um, and just putting our young people into the program without any kind of sense of urgency, but doing it the right way and having time to say our guys will be in my program for 4 years by the time they're seniors. So
Yeah, man.
excited
I
about
love
that.
that. I love that. So you've started professional teams. You've managed professional teams from the ground up. You've managed teams in Australia. And other continents. What would you say is harder, building a winning program from scratch or restoring one that used to be dominant?
Restoring one because obviously there's an expectation already there, right?
Yep.
Um, And again, you got alum, you got parents, you got people who are used to the glory days, if you will. But they'll always say times have changed, kids have
Yep.
changed. You got to coach them different, right? But they'll
Yeah.
only put that expectation when it comes to what they want right now, and not understand that hey, the glory days, the times were different there as well, and people were
Right.
coached different, expectations were different, the young men were different, right? So
True.
there were certain things that you didn't have to worry about that were understood. For so I would say again, the pressure on an overseas team because again, obviously more money involved, more standard involved, those things like that are in place. Your time that you have to turn an overseas team around or a professional team around is smaller, but
Mhm.
the task itself is greater in a high school program to turn around. So
Yeah.
we're in the thick of it, working hard. Again, it's the greatest challenge I've ever taken on in my life, in my whole coaching career. But I'm
Yeah.
happy to be there, and again, I have no worries about if it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
Um, and again, this is kind of uncharted territory for me, right? I've turned a lot of places around, but at this
Yeah.
level, you got different barriers and different things that are in your way. So trying to navigate those the best I can, and we're figuring it out as we go along. So we're going in the right direction, though.
Yeah, I love it. So, last question on the program turnaround and leadership. We talk about culture. What does that look like on the day to day? What are like three key things that you're like, hey, this is what we need to press on or focus on every day.
Well, the biggest thing is consistency, right? So it's
Yeah.
consistency among the staff, the coaches. 'Cause we're human, we have bad days as well, right? So
Yeah.
how I have my bad days are going to be indicative of how our young people have their bad days, right? If I let that show, it's going to make it okay. Because again, when young people model behavior, they're very impressionable, right? So
Yeah.
having my bad days the best they can be, and still charging forward, still put my best foot forward, and saying, okay, there's a bottom line. Of what I can bring every day. And I lead into that going to my second thing, standards, right? So we have standards to where, hey, rain, sleet, or snow, sick, lame, whatever have you, if you show up, you must perform at the very least to this bottom basic level of what we need. Because it has
Mhm.
to be day to day. You know how it goes in football. It's like consistency, right? How many
Yeah.
days can you bring your best? And once you do something and achieve something, unfortunately or fortunately for me, the reward is that's now the expectation and the ceiling. The floor is now what the ceiling was then, right? Once you
Yep.
achieve something, now that's the bare minimum. So,
Yeah.
um, to young people, it's trying to like, hey guys, yeah, we want you to push to this level, but understand there'll be a new level once you reach this level, and don't be
Yeah.
mad about that. It's just hey, you're moving forward. Your reward now is you've moved up a rung on the ladder toward success and sustainable success. Um,
Yeah.
and again, really, the next thing, really is just being enthusiastic and find a love for the game. I don't mean to be cliche,
Yeah.
but
Nah, that's
football is
real.
one of those things that doesn't give back. A whole lot and it promises nothing and it requires everything from you, right? So you've
Yeah.
really got to love this game. And those of you guys, you've been college ball, so it's,
Mhm.
how much of that stuff is like, dang, is this really worth it? I mean, you're going to question that. The
Yeah.
human condition is going to make you question that, and that's okay. But
Right.
the thing is, not the problem. The challenge is to fight the human condition and fight the natural human condition to just lay down, to back off, take a day off, to let up a little bit. So it's just, hey guys, bring this consistent level of excellence,
Yeah.
day in and day out, and that's what we're looking for. So,
No, I love that,
that
man. Because
those are the pillars,
energy,
man.
energy is big, man. Especially with football. If you come on that
Indeed.
field with weak energy, you're getting trampled over every time. The energy is key. So I'm glad you said that. And I'll let Bryn kick us into the next topics.
All right.
Man, I appreciate hearing that. I couldn't, I did figure out a way to start hearing, Dweller. But we're going to get into the global coaching experience. We understand that you have coached internationally, including Australia. Um, I know you played ball also overseas, correct?
1 year, yeah.
Okay, so we'll get into that. So the first question I got for you is what did the experience teach you about the game and leadership coaching in another country?
First thing is that language is important. Culture is important. When you're going into a different culture as a country, your football culture cannot waver, right? So you have guys who are not used to the roughness and violence that's necessary to play this game. They come from different sports. They come from different cultures, right? So they don't understand the hard charging way we Americans play football. But they want to play American football, then they need to use American language. They need to use American culture to play this
Yeah.
game. And that was some places it's a good thing because they're happy to embrace it. Young people again, people are playing pro ball. They're still in their 20s and 30s, right? So you got guys who love American culture and they like to be impressionable and emulate American culture. That's a big thing for us, right? So buy-in is not as hard as you think it is over there. It's just a matter of convincing really the higher ups, people who are in charge of the infrastructure and the organization, to realize, hey, me going off on these guys isn't personal. It's not disrespectful. It's how we coach over there. It's how we bring the
Yeah,
best out of one another, and it's never anything personal. And the same guys you'll see me chew on are the same guys I'm hanging out with, right after practice. It's not, obviously it's the whole adage like it's business, it's not personal always, right?
yeah,
So,
I've experienced that.
and personally, right, Bryn, so, this was
Yeah,
my guy,
exactly.
right? And we'll get
Hey,
on,
but we was
guys. But
winning championships though.
right. So again, that's the thing. When wins are the byproduct of you coaching hard, it's very easy for them to understand, the
Yeah.
product of that. But when the wins aren't coming right now, it's like it becomes, it becomes kind of begrudging and it becomes, kind of monotonous to where, hey, we're just going through the dregs of this happening every single day. But we can't let up in that regard because we got certain things going on. We got a culture that's been put in place. And we've got
Yeah,
standards. We got consistency that's got to be done. And I do know other ways, and they'll say the other ways. And other ways will always be suggested. We're talking about soft coaching and this and that. It's just not something I believe in
Yeah.
on a philosophical level. So we're not delving into that.
yeah.
Um
Yeah.
again, it can be an option. It's just not something that I'm really interested in. So
It,
we're doing things the way I came up, and I'm a big proponent of okay, if we allow it to change, then it will change, and the culture which we grew up in will be null and void. There'll be something that's not. It'll be a thing of the past, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
we don't want to be a part of that. So.
Yeah, I feel that. So
Real.
the next question I got for you is like how like what's something American high school sports get wrong that you learned overseas?
Mm.
You say what? No, my bad. I'm sorry.
Now you good. I said what's something American high school sports get wrong that you learned overseas?
American high school sports,
Yeah.
nothing. It's done right, and it's been done. It's proven right. It's a proven product, right? And it's a thing that's
True.
been in place for a long time, man. And we're we're doing things the right way. I think some of the things that get passed by, um, the money making thing that it is, the level of seriousness that gets put in place,
Yeah.
um, and that's something that um, I agree with, and I'm fully on board with. The thing is, what you don't know about overseas, if you don't know, um, overseas there are no high school sports,
Oh
right?
Mm,
wow.
There are, but it's like football is not a high school thing. Most of the sports are
Yeah.
club based, and there's clubs everywhere. So our
Mm.
travel culture in America is alive and well overseas because everything's club based. The
okay.
difference is um, the travel teams and the club teams are things that bring you in from grassroots all the way to the pro teams. So we'll have guys that are 26 but have played football for 15 years
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
in the
Yeah.
same organization, and that's pretty cool if you have consistency, you have development.
Yeah.
The issue I have is the regime changes sometimes, the culture doesn't change, and it's very cool the traditions and things of that nature don't change. Um, but being um, in a club team, for instance, my team in Germany, the Freiburg Christians, is owned by the Sacks are owned by a parent company called 1844 Freiburg, okay, in the city. And that city controls basically all the sports teams in the city.
Wow.
Football, they have a flag team, they have the youth teams, they have the developmental teams, and they have those things available all the way to the pro team, and then they have a developmental team as well. So if you're somebody who's trying to take on football as obviously in America we don't recommend that, right? Because it's people are too
Mhm.
far gone. The skill level and development is too far gone at that
Yeah.
level. You'll see guys who are taking on football in their 20s, 21, 22, 23 years old, trying football for the first time. And that's a challenge.
Dang.
But the thing is, again, they're on a level to where developmental team and developmental football, Europe has this right to where they do all their competitive sports on the soccer model, basically the Olympic model, to where they play
Yeah.
for, soccer, right? They play
Yeah.
for
Hmm.
promotion and relegation. So if you're a guy you're not playing necessarily for championships unless you're the top premier leagues, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
if you win your league, you'll get a trophy, but your reward really is getting promoted to the next league. So the
Right.
champion of like Division 3 is the worst team in Division 2. You see where I'm going with that?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
developmental
Yeah.
leagues are guys. So our Devo teams play other Devo teams. So as a coach, um, they'll work you as an import coach as well. So I was coaching the pro team, I was coaching the developmental team, and helping out with the U16s, which is like our equivalent of high school ball as well. So
Okay.
me coaching the developmental teams, there were some of the funnest games I've ever coached in my life. I'm sorry, funnest, most fun games I've ever coached in my life. And
But I never would have corrected
right,
that.
so um, you'll coach like a 6-8 or 7-6 slobber knocker game in the mud where no one can complete a pass, no one can do anything right, but the talent level is so even that you have to coach because every possession, everything matters,
Yeah.
and your playbook's dumbed down. So you're coaching. Imagine coaching grown men with a little league playbook where you got 5, 10 plays they can run. Can't really do a whole lot. They don't understand a lot of verbiage. There's a language barrier because you got Germans, and they do speak
Yeah.
English, but not, in a I guess a heightened situation where you have things flying around in a football game when you're trying to communicate. If you're communicating like with our football slang, or I
Yeah.
forget that I'm in Germany, I'm not in Fredericksburg, or I'm not back home or somewhere else, right? And you're trying to
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
something, and you talk kind of fast, or say something that's got some slang involved, and the language barrier and the communication barrier doesn't get through the way it should. So you got guys kind of struggling in that regard. So you've got to really be um, that's the biggest thing I can attribute for being overseas. I have to be a master communicator, like to where I have to make sure I'm very concise, I'm very clear with what I'm saying and what I'm trying to get out of guys, because they may speak English, but you don't know the level of their proficiency in the language. So,
Yep.
and honestly, it was harder in Australia to communicate because Aussies use everything they use is slang.
Ah, I didn't know
God.
that.
There's nothing they say that's
Yeah.
like a real, like, what I'm saying, word. So everything is abbreviated. they've got their own slang. It's kind of cool, and we've spent like almost 3 years over there off and on. I still find myself saying, their words and stuff. I kind of assimilated to Aussie culture pretty cool. It's all right. I like being over there a lot. So, yeah, man, it wasn't as hard as you think. You just got to be once you realize the challenge that's at hand. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening, man? Hey, Corey, we want to say what's up to
Big
you,
Corey,
brother. We
what's up,
see you in
man?
the chat.
Hey, big shout out to Corey, biggest charger in the game.
I
Corey's the
promise you.
man. Big up yourself,
I
man.
promise you. All right, hey, look, Adwell, I want to ask you another couple. I got a couple more questions on this topic, man. How is the professional level and so actually let me go back. What's something that in the professional level environments that influenced how you coach teenagers at the high school level?
Really just a sense of urgency and a sense of presentation, right? So in the pro game, we've got standards of how we even practice, right? Attire
Yeah,
for practice, prescribed attire. If you know, being in the arena league where I've been, A2, A1 stints and everywhere else, right?
yeah,
Get that first deduction for a uniform violation on a check and it fixes it right then and there. Trust me. Or the first time you
yeah.
step out and get fined, you're like, hey, so we ain't making millions, right? So you're making thousands, and they take that little, couple hundred for a uniform violation. You feel that, right? So,
Yeah.
just getting guys to really like look the part and present themselves in a way. So I'm happy to say that all the things these young guys are trying to implement in the game, it stops with me. So we're not doing the double mouthpieces. We're not doing the panda hats and 7-on-7. You can't wear
Hey,
pajama pants in my program. Stop wearing sandals for no reason. You'll wear things that are team colors. We're not wearing the fancy, bright cleats for no reason. And basketball can have that all they want, but if it don't match the uniform, I don't think it looks very well. Certain stickers on your back plate. No, we're not doing all that. You know what I'm
hey,
saying? I'm
look though,
sorry.
Dweller,
Hey,
hold on,
and
coach.
Bryn, you play
Hey,
with me,
hold
so you
on,
know my
coach.
drip is impeccable, bro. So we're not. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but
I'm
hold
not
on,
hating.
coach. Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
coach, because he let me wear some of that stuff though.
Well,
I ain't gonna try to go there
but,
though, but I was
hey,
scoring touchdowns.
guess what you did?
I listen.
Produce.
Produce,
When you
yeah.
produce, you get leeway. This is not, again, me as a player. And again, hey, when I played with y'all, I didn't like that yellow spec y'all had with the unis. I put it on though,
I
right? Because we're a
know.
team,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So what I'm used to and what we allow, it comes with what you, again, as a team,
What you
what you
doing?
want. If you're producing, doing what you're supposed to do, I don't care what you wear. You come out, if you want to wear purple, then perform to a purple level. Purple level means I know you're going to take care of business.
Stand
Yeah, I
out,
hope
right?
so.
You wear
Yeah.
If you
whatever
wear
dumb stuff
purple
you
out there,
want to
you
wear
better score
if
8
you're
times.
producing, right?
Yup.
But I'm not gonna have a double mouthpiece and a pair of lime green cleats. And y'all getting beat by 30. There's no point in doing that because that means we put more. Right, we put more
Because
inch. We put
a
more.
dweller, because you
What up?
definitely had lime green cleats.
And they match the uniform though.
Yeah,
Okay then, it's in the color scheme.
nah, but I really do love what you're saying as far as like these kids nowadays, man, with like the like 3 mouthpieces. Just like the most like, bro, you trying to look good on the field, play good. How about
Right,
that? Because you can
Hey,
look all good as you want, but you ain't
right.
doing nothing.
And that's the thing. Every generation has their stamp on what they're doing, right? So again, when y'all came through high school, it was all month of October, y'all swag down the pink accessories all day. Cool.
Yeah,
I don't mind if 4 calls, cancer awareness, cool. But guess what? Make the main thing the main thing. If y'all worry more about where you're getting your socks from and your cleats and your wristbands and your gloves more than but you're failing your game plan quiz, and that's gonna be a problem because we're gonna step out in all pink and get beat like we're wearing all pink, and that's not a good thing, right? You feel
that's
me?
a
So
fact. Yeah.
you feel
that's a
me? So
fact. Yeah,
and I hate that again, this is where I feel like I'm at the golden age to where I played for old school, but I'm the start of the new school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not that far removed from it to where I don't understand it is important to look good. Absolutely. We came up
yeah,
with prime Deion Sanders. So of course, look good, feel good, play good was everything, right? So we
yep,
understand prime. We understand it. Who started that, right? We came up in the era of like prime Deion Sanders, and then in the turn of the century, you got AI, you got Mike Vick from VA, changes the
yeah,
pro game of basketball and football. Of course, we want to look good. Of course, we want to
Right.
look
yep.
athletic. That's the thing.
That's what
Mhm.
I'm
we
all
do.
about that. I'm all about that. But guess what? We're not missing lists. We're not missing assignments. We're locked
Yeah,
into the game plan. We got to be great. If you want to put bells and whistles on you, what does that do? That brings attention to you. So if you're going to do
yep,
anything that brings attention to yourself, when the lights come on, guess what? You're under a microscope, right? They can see everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
So be ready to perform when it's time for the lights to come on. So
That's
that's
a
where I'm at
fact.
with it.
That's a fact, man. Hey, man, I'm glad we bring them in. And Mike and I already talked about this earlier. This is just the first of many times that we're gonna have you on this platform, bro.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all,
So
man.
my last question for you on this topic, and then we're gonna let Micah go into player development and the mindset. But so you kind of covered it already. So you dealing with like the different, like the global experience of coaching overseas. Like,
Mhm.
does it help you with being with all these different type of kids that you deal with at the high school level in America, the diversity and
Um,
all that?
yeah, absolutely. Because y'all went to Chancellor, and the demographic of Chancellor High School has changed since you guys
Yeah.
have been in there. It's a very much a brown school now, right? And we've got to cater to that demographic. So I know I've got a bunch of Latin American students who are taking on football for the first time. I'm fully like, I love that. Let's bring it on, give that to them. But again, we have to understand they don't have the grassroots little league and travel team, even Spotsy Parks and Recs, education in the game that they have. So we're starting with kids who are sophomores and juniors coming up at the same time, and they've almost got to do skill development with our pups, our JV team, to get them brought up. We got to teach these guys ball security. We got to teach them how to fall.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I
Crazy.
found out overseas. The level of injuries are twice as much as they are over here. Simple things like learning how to fall, but I can't remember doing any drills to teach me how to fall. You just fall enough to where you
You
kind of
just
figure it out,
fall.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So, but the thing is, again, that makes you a better coach to where, okay, we have a deficiency here. Instead of complaining about it and say, why don't they have it? It's my job to fix it. So let's
Mm.
dive deep and find something drill wise that we can incorporate to teach that skill. So
Yep.
again, you may have to go back and stop away from scheming and things of that nature and nuances and things, and teach kids small things that they may not know. And we're behind the eight ball in certain respects.
Yeah.
But again, we're not making excuses because the expectation to produce and win is still there. So, you
Yeah.
know, um, again, we'll take our lumps until we don't take them no more. I just tell guys all the time, get me while you can, because when I'm coming, I'm coming. Trust me,
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's
I'm
like what
coming.
prime time say, man. That's right. You
Hey,
know
when I'm
how it
coming,
go,
trust
man.
me.
Hey, you better get them now. 'Cause I'm telling you this
Get me
right
while you
now. When you
can.
dwell, hey, I'm telling you, it's a wrap. And I want everybody to understand that. I know Mike is about to get into the to your player development and mindset, but I'll talk more about why people need to tap in and
My God.
listen up.
All
Yeah.
right.
But let's go ahead and get into
Yeah.
player development and mindset, brother. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Micah.
For sure, man. Dwella, I really loved your coaching mindset and your human mindset. I really appreciate just the way you're answering the question, very thorough. And you kind of actually answered a couple questions, so I only got two for the player development.
Mhm.
How do you handle talented players who don't buy into the culture?
Mm.
Um, my
They out of
initial
there.
emo- my initial emotional reaction to this is get rid of them. That's a
Yeah.
short and sweet.
They out of there.
Yeah, yeah.
Everywhere else you can do that, right? But you've got to again understand where you're at, and when your first order of business is to bring numbers back, can you afford to do that?
True.
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 True. True.
Programs struggle because young people and even the school system, young people as a whole, they're not. I'm not gonna say they're smarter than we are. They have more access to information than we did, right? So when they
Yeah.
have access to
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
information, they fully understand what we can and cannot do. So when they understand the parameters of what consequences can be, right? And
Yeah.
you understand the depth of consequences, you got kids who like, you know what? I'm weighing my actions versus the consequences. And not only I'll be accountable, I'll fully take this consequence because I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah.
And and I know that can't afford to get rid of them.
Right.
So I'm gonna play regardless. When you got 27 kids, again, with high school kids, what can you do? I can condition you, I can suspend you, I can, sit you down, for a certain period of time. That's all I can do, right?
Yeah.
I kick
Yeah.
you off the team. But if I have numbers issues, they know I can't afford to kick them off the team. So now the other thing is too, I can run you, but again, if I run you now, I'm hurting your health, and you're not going to be accessible for the game if I do too much and
Yeah.
be excessive with my punishment. If I give them a true Division One punishment, they're going to be not worth a dang on Friday, right?
True.
Third thing is, hey, I could bench you, but guess what? If I bench you at your primary position, you're probably still going to be a backup when someone gets hurt. And you're still going to play special teams. So,
Mhm.
what can you really enforce?
Yeah.
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 So how do you
Yeah.
change the
That's a rough
program? Get the
situation.
first thing to do is get numbers, right? I got to
Yeah.
find some way, and they don't even have to be necessarily better than the guy in front of me. Just give
Yeah.
me someone I can replace you with, and I'll fix their whole attitude.
That's
Yeah.
real. Because nobody
Yeah.
nobody who feels like they have the talent want to sit down. And I
Right.
think as soon as somebody steps into that role, they're like, all right, what do I need to do
And the
internally?
Yeah.
So
best
that
corrective action is honestly, what if I put someone in front of you that you know you're better than, and he's going to play because he does the right thing, and you don't?
exactly.
Oh, he's
Exactly.
You're
done
thinking
that
to
to me
yourself,
before.
right? And again, I don't mean to be like someone talk about ability and this and that, but in a player's mindset, a young man's mindset, he's like, dang. Coach got this sorry dude in front of me, and I should be playing,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do the right thing. And all I can do is easily just conform to the standards of the program, and I'll get to play. That corrective action happens very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Again, I
remember he
learned
did
that from
that to
being
me,
again.
right? He did
Right,
that to me, and then so I said, man, now I'm playing corner. I think I got burnt in first place. He said, get out, you ain't got the hips.
right. You don't want to play quarterback, you gonna play corner, or you ain't gonna play there either, right? So again, it comes
Man,
to
I'm telling you, I
standards
learned a
to where
lot from
like,
a dweller,
bro,
man. Real talk.
That's
there's
beautiful,
ways
man.
we can just, and I don't want guys. Here's the thing. I feel like in real life, being humble kind of gets you overlooked by today's people, right? So we can be humble in our being. I'm humble at the core, but you've got to stand out with what you're doing, right? And sometimes you
Yeah,
got to talk to people and let them know because otherwise they'll look over you. So
Right.
I'm not so much of a fan of guys being humble. Again, we come from the '90s, man. Prime was anything but humble. Humble to God,
yeah,
absolutely. Humble
Yeah.
to
yeah,
God, absolutely. To man, no, we bow down for nobody, right? And that's the
Right.
mindset.
yep,
So I don't want meek. I don't want silent people. I don't want God. I want warriors. But so I mean, how are you a warrior? How you confidently talk because you're confident in your craft. You're confident in your preparation. So we
yep,
want the real, not arrogant. We want confident and
Okay.
blessed, right? So
Yeah.
arrogance can be mistaken for confidence when you're blessed. You're just speaking testimony. I don't mean to get into the spiritual portion of it all, but that's been
Ah,
my
that's
plight in
real.
life to where, oh, you're arrogant. You're this. I'm not arrogant. I'm very sure of who I am and what I bring to the table, and I'm also
yeah,
sure of who's got me and who has whose favor I have. So I can walk boldly
exactly.
when you're walking in a righteous path. So anyway, my bad. That's my rant.
Nah, that's love. That's the type time we're on for sure, and we want to
Indeed,
spread that energy. So we're all for that.
Yep.
What separates players who improve from those who stay stuck?
consistency.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing. I don't mean to be, that's the long and short of it. Honestly,
Nah, that's yeah.
when you're talking about professionals, right? Guys who make the highlight reel plays, those things come to them through muscle reaction and just reps and reps and reps. But the
Yeah.
highlight plays come from doing the routine thing over and over and over again. You can be a professional and never have a highlight, but if I know exactly what you're bringing to the table, that's your consistent value and that's worth a roster spot. That's what got me playing for 6 years professionally. Hey, the big plays came from me. I made some big plays. How I made rosters was how I show up every day. So
Yeah.
breeding that consistency. Hey, stop pressing, don't press. What's the bottom line that I can bring every single day? Again, it really is just standard based, man. Hey guys, here's where you are. Let's be realistic about where your talent level is and what your restraints are and where your shortcomings are. Let's get better at those and work at those. But let's be proficient in what we know we can do.
And that's
So when I
real.
know what a player
Yeah.
brings, I know what I can use. I know where I can use them at. And Bryn, again, guys who play for me know I don't really sit guys. I find things that guys can do very well. Right.
Yeah.
Remember homeboy Buddy on the Knights? All he did was cover kickoffs. He did nothing but cover kickoffs. But he was the best special
He was
teamer I've
good
ever
at
seen in
it.
my life. Right? Homeboy made the
Yeah.
tackle every single time and was happy to do it enthusiastically. So that's a
Yeah.
guy who's like on some Matt Slater type stuff to where not really a position guy, but a football player, great effort guy, and knows his role and is proficient in his role to where we
Yep.
can make him basically the captain of our special teams by the time the year ends.
And he
Yeah.
takes pride in it.
It takes pride. And again, if you ranked our top 15 athletes, he'd be number like 19. You know what I'm saying? But he's still
Real talk.
he's still a guy. You feel me?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
guy.
He mattered.
Right, but you put above those guys who have ability but don't want to put the hustle and the heart and take the pride in what they do in their craft, man. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with that. Just really consistency is the main thing, man. How can we forge into you that you have to bring a bottom line something every single day?
That's totally real, man. I love that. Nah, man. So I'll let Brent take us into the next topic.
All right, man. We got music, identity, and coaching, man. The first question I got for you with this, man. All right, so because we know you got a dweller in the uprising. All right, I've seen you perform live. I think you're really good at what you do and good at your craft. And anybody that is going to watch or watching now, you guys should tap in and to really listen to a dweller in the uprising and embrace the talent that he has. But with that being said, man, how has music influenced your coaching style?
Um, I kind of think it's the other way around, honestly. My coaching
Okay.
style has influenced my music, man. To be honest with you, I think I've been successful in the band rap because again, stereotypes of musicians, right? They normally are like loners, don't work well with others, or egotistical, things of that nature, not consistent, have
Yeah.
habits, things of that nature, right? Have bad habits, things of that nature. So what do we do? Come in and bring that consistency when it comes to like rehearsal, mindset when it comes to rehearsal. Hey,
Yeah.
rehearsal's not like practice. Rehearsal
No.
is to get things tight, practice on your own, right? So it's different in the
Yeah.
music game where
Yeah.
rehearsal, you should already know the material. We're coming to rehearsal to tighten up the material, put
Yeah.
in transition, put all the flair and bells and whistles on it. Um, and it's kind of like football, to where hey, we give you a scouting report, but you're expected to know what's on the report by the time you get to practice, right? Same
Yeah.
thing. Um, really the discipline that I've taken as an athlete and as a coach and applied that to musicians and made them. Again, that's been a rocky road with musicians. I went through a whole lot of musicians because they're against that, but again, the results speak for themselves. The band goes on, and again, you're just some of the parts, and we're not trying to devalue people, but it's a team, right? So if guys want to
Yeah.
ever be bigger than the team, they've had to go, and unfortunately, in music, guys have left before I've had the replacement, so I've had to deal through that and either downsize, find last minute guys, patch it together. And through that, 12 years later in the game, I've got a network of musicians I can work with, so the band still, is able to go on. And I've got a network of musicians worldwide. I've played all over the world now. I've played in Australia, played
Yep.
in Germany, played in Vietnam,
Yeah.
played places like that, all over the
Wow.
Caribbean and stuff like that. But my band as a whole has not traveled with me outside of the United States. So again, just a network of guys, and some out of necessity, some out of guys not being. I'm not gonna say for the mission. It's just a marathon, so maybe their leg has just been up. And again, my younger me was really emotional about that, but I'm not so much anymore. I just understand, the greater good of that mission, and guys just ran their course, and I'm thankful for all of them. I have nothing bad to say about anyone who's ever, taken the stage with me. So,
Yeah, man.
again, just to recap, I think it's more the other way around, not music influence in football, because again, I was the football guy first, and kind of
I
transitioned
was
to
gonna
music
say that we definitely won multiple championships before because I
right
remember
before
you
I ever did
starting
that.
out by doing
Mhm.
karaoke in the bars around
Right.
Fredericksburg.
That's really how
Yeah.
I like, and me just hanging out, man, looking for something to do that's not too, bad off, and really before that, man. Honestly, I'll take that back to my arena football days. When you're on the road, you got road trips, right?
Yep.
Even in college, you got curfew the night before the game, right?
Hmm.
So as grown men, we don't play till like Saturday night, so curfew isn't till like midnight on Friday night if
Hmm.
you're somewhere else. So
Yep.
you still can't leave. So you'll go out, you have family and friends to visit with. You can go to dinner, do whatever, this and that. But we're not actually partying or nothing like that. So
Yeah.
what can you do if I'm in the middle of America, like Nebraska somewhere. I don't know anybody here. So what can I do but hang out in
You're
the
in
lobby of the
Omaha.
hotel? Right. Hang out in the lobby of the hotel. And what's in the lobby of a hotel on Friday night in the hotel? Probably karaoke, honestly. So I just, that was my kind of icebreaker, kind of, stress reliever, this and that. And I kind of taught myself how to project, how to sing, how to breathe, and it, it became like something I kind of enjoyed. It became one of my pregame rituals and routines to where, hey, let me go out there and dust off the pipes, get a little stress out, and then by then I'm good to go. I'm not stirring so much I can just go home, call my
Yeah.
family, say a little prayer, and go to sleep, man. So I did that for like years before I even got into music professionally, and then again, just being someone raised in Jamaican culture, having a Jamaican father and Jamaican grandparents and things of that nature, man. Reggae music is something that's weird. It's just ingrained in us, and it's been around to
Yeah.
the point where I never knew I had any talent in this because everyone in Jamaica that kind of plays something, whether it's a shake or a drum or something like that. Everybody plays something. So you just think that's what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do. And
Yeah.
again, never knew I was any kind of special talent or any good at it, and the normal um black person thing in America, just growing up in the church, having to sing, they put you up because you can, you're a
Yeah.
capable young man, you can read, so somehow they think you can sing without any kind of audition. So here you are in front of a church full of old people, and you got to sing, and here it goes. So
Yep.
figure it out, don't bomb it. So you might as well do a good job, and that's how I got my stage fright and stuff, taken care of, in the church, man,
Hey.
and in the karaoke bars, man. So that's yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this: from that, you talking about what you're singing. So what is it like being a Rasta for you, or do you consider yourself a Rasta? And does that? And I think it does, but does that correlate to your leadership?
Yeah, so just to piggyback, Rastafari kind of like piggybacks, and it's very similar, if not the same, as the Nazarite vow in the Bible to make you guys understand it. So, like the story of Samson, the vow of Samson, and separation, the vow of separation to God, is literally the same vow. That's really Rastafari in itself, man. So,
Yeah.
does that help me be more disciplined? Yeah, but again, that's something that's kind of ingrained in you from birth. Both my parents are Rasta. Well,
I was gonna
as
say, his mom, bless always, her dreads like are all the way to the ground, pressed some behind her.
I
Wow.
just, I just, I just caught her like last year. Finally, I was like, that was my goal. I'm gonna grow my nuts, so I catch her. So I finally caught it, man. So yeah, man.
That's really
Um,
cool.
being, yeah, that's the disciplines we take. And again, I think we're not saying religion, man. Rastafari is more of a lifestyle, so we live that every day. We don't take no days off from being Rasta. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I see how it can kind of help. And I can see how it's something that can, my thing is I have to be careful, right? We're dealing with young people, right? We don't want to
Yeah.
try to indoctrinate them and bring them into the fold, but they, I can't say that the young people are not curious about Rastafari, because what are the stereotypes, right? They're just musicians and hippies that sit back and smoke herb and they barefoot and this and that, but they don't understand the discipline that comes with that, right? And
Yeah.
really, from being Jamaican, we do not advocate for youngsters using substances of that nature, especially herb.
Right.
We don't want to cloud your mind, right? We don't want to deal with all them something. So, I've been on national radio stations and things like that, cannabis talk radio, talking about these things, saying, hey man, we do not advocate for youth to use these type of substances. We don't advocate for youth, to be educated and understand, hey, we don't use all that. We don't do these things and stay disciplined in the other regards and the other disciplines of, eating right, take care of your body. Your body's a temple, proper sleep habits, proper meditation, whatever your
Yep.
belief system is um, be disciplined in that regard, man. And that's really what should be at the forefront, not just, oh, I'm some, Bob Marley incarnate or clone or somebody trying to be in that regard. Bob is a prophet to us, Marcus Messiah Garvey is a prophet to us, Leonard Howe, multiple Plano, those people that are the prophets in Rastafari. We're very um those of us who are serious about that, right? We're big in their teachings and their readings and things of that nature. But yeah, man, it helps, man. But it's like it's a fine line to walk to where we don't want to overeducate people and things that they don't want to learn. And again, with a spiritual aspect and mixing, religion, politics, and athletics and things of that nature in today's age, it's a very fine line to walk. So I don't give that information up freely. Parents have asked me things of that nature. I've had people want to ask, and I've been, forthcoming with that information and not have anything to hide, but also not trying to force anything upon someone. Because again, you have to realize you are a coach, you're a role model, you're impressionable. It's young people, so we don't want people, going astray from what their foundation is at home, what their parents want them to grow up in. If it's, right from
Yeah.
wrong is right from wrong, but we don't want. I don't want people just walking around emulating me because they like me. Things that they're interested in. That's their own journey to walk, man. So that's where I'm at with that.
Nah, man, that was beautiful. I think you explained that perfectly. And Bryn's coming right back. I think he's just got some
All right.
technical issues. So if your team had a theme song, what would it be and why?
um, we came out to what's that song that really what's the dude's name? I forget. It's a pitcher, closer for the Mets that has his own theme song. You know what I'm talking about? That comes out. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, I don't. But dang it,
It's kind of hard. It's a little techno song. I decided to go away from because everybody would expect me to do something reggae wise or whatever. So I went away from that on purpose this year. But next year, Welcome to German Rock is just such an iconic tune. I love that tune. Like that would be one of my themes. But really, I got a song of mine called Warrior. And kind of wrote that in regard to my journey and where I've been. So really, it'd be one of those to be Warrior or Welcome to German Rock by then, man. So that's
Yeah.
yeah.
And so this it was a theme song, Narco by
Yes,
Blasted.
yes.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
hard though. Like it's got a little drop to it, and when the smoke come out, it was kind of cool, man. And again, we got a big Latin American population in Chancellor, so I was trying to cater to those people as well, and it was
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. But again, every year has a new slogan, new theme, or whatever. So we're trying to retooling that. Not retooling. We've already decided that moving forward. So we've got I think this year we're going to give the kids some ownership on their theme song. What they come out to this year. So I'm excited to see what they come up with. So. As long as it's not no young boy, nothing crazy, man. We gotta make sure it's PG-13 for the people. There's children watching, man. So you know what I'm saying? We gotta be
You don't want to play no
impressionable fun to
wine.
you.
You don't want to play no what is it NBA?
No, man, I can't do that, man. We can't listen. For the weight room, maybe if there's the PG version in the weight room, yeah, because that gets you going. On Max there, something like that, yeah. I'll
Y'all
give
need
them
to
their
play some
music.
J Monty, bro. Play some J
I don't
Monty,
mind,
man.
but here's what I do too. I tell the kids, look, here's a Spotify playlist we're making. Add whatever songs you want to add to the playlist, and there where you have your music.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's what we did at the protein. My bad, guys. We got some emergency vehicles going outside, man. I'm kind of enjoying the day, man. So
Nah, you good, bro. You
this
ain't
should be
gotta.
gone in a second.
I know that I got disconnected. My phone died. Everything just went wrong for me.
That's unnecessary.
And we appreciate
My
all
bad.
of our EMS, fire
Yeah, man.
trucks,
Yeah, for
firefighters.
sure.
We need y'all.
Pick
Putting
up
in a
all the
lot of
first
work, man.
responders, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, are you already going over the adversity?
No,
Am
I
I
was
what?
gonna. No,
Oh,
we just asked them about the theme song, so we can get into the adversity now.
Okay. No, that's my fault. You know, I got kicked, so I'm behind a little bit.
It's all good.
You're good, man. You're good. We live action, so that
Yes,
comes with
sir.
it. So adversity and personal journey. Oh, cool. He got the tab.
You know
What's
it.
what's one moment in your coaching career where you almost walked away, if there was one, but you didn't?
Mm.
All right, well, people don't know,
Mm,
I was an assistant at Spotsylvania High for about 6 years.
Yep.
All right, so we talk about turnaround. Chancellors are nowhere near the shape that program was when we first got there. All right.
I believe
As an
that.
assistant, I went 0-22 before we won a game.
Mm.
Wow.
Two
But you were
winless
playing then
seasons,
too, right?
still playing there too, yeah.
Yeah.
And so 2 winless seasons. I got signed my last arena season in Ohio with the Marion Blue Racers. Shout out to them or whatever. I left the off season of my second year and went to go play and then hurt my knee. And it was very evident that career was over. So I came back or whatever and worked that or whatever. But that program was left in shambles so bad, man. It had nothing to do with coaching, man. The culture was so bad, things of that nature that was there. 23 kids. I can say it now, like 21 of them probably should have had a varsity jersey the first year. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
And we were losing by average of like 40 a game. It was terrible, man. It got to the point with me and good guys around me. Shout out Ben Lorenas, man, my head guy out there, whatever, that gave me an opportunity to coach the guy. Should be a Hall of Famer. JM do the right thing and put Ben in the Hall of Fame this year.
Mm,
Most career starts, 50 career starts as
wow.
an O lineman, state champion at JM. Played at
Wow.
JMU and walked away from a scholarship at JMU to walk on at Maryland and earn a scholarship there. No one does that, man. So we're a guy who really understands the stuff, man, squared away individual.
Mm,
And also, man, gutsy enough to put his reputation on the line to turn a program around like that, who really
All
honestly
right.
had no hope and had no ceiling at the time, man. So, yeah, man, had me questioning my self worth, among other things, questioning why I'm doing this. I'm living in England running the time and commuting all the way out to Spotsylvania every single day.
Yep.
And for that type of money as an assistant in Spotsylvania County, it was not worth it whatsoever. Trying to raise a young one as well, spending more time with other people's kids than your own kid, man. It was just, yeah, I was.
And we were going over Landover every weekend
And
for the
going to Landover every
games.
weekend,
Yep.
coaching arena football on the weekends in the spring, and coaching varsity basketball there, and coaching girls varsity soccer there as well, and
Yep.
running the strength programs for all 3 programs. Yeah, I did a lot there, man.
Yeah.
And the way they ended wasn't the best. And it wasn't
Mhm.
anything that the admin or my coach did to me. Some outside things, kind of went on and got me into music, got me transitioning. But yeah, I was kind of questioning why in the heck I do this a number of times, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
again, that prepares you for what's later down the road to where I can go through a tough
Right
year and
now.
like, you know what, we're 1-9, but we ain't 0-10. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't getting blown out by 60. At least we scored here. You know what I'm saying? Like, all
Yeah.
right, we
Yeah.
And when I
we're,
watched y'all
we're,
play this year, bro, there was like when I would watch them on like stream and stuff, it would just be, and it kind of frustrated because it's happened with my son's team too. It'd be like just something minor would happen, and then all the players would just shut down. Be some simple thing too. You
and
know what I'm
again,
saying? And I would
building
just
with
see, and I knew. I told Micah this. One time I texted you during the game. I knew you didn't have your phone. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like Donna said, man, who is this? Because I was probably in there like, man, why
And
can't
I'm
I
thinking
tell
like
you?
if somebody a parent who hate me, man, but that's again, man, just understanding the things that come with that, man. The outside influence, the things people have said to me, the things people have sent to me.
Yeah,
It's not been pretty. And if I had not gone through that, I wouldn't be built for this,
yeah.
honestly. Again, coaching this level is not for the weak hearted, man. I'm trying to tell you, because there's
Ain't no
parents are
way, bro.
Parents are something, man. Supporters are something. The casual fans who are not with you Monday through Thursday are something, right? And so
Yeah.
again, when I tell parents who have a problem with their kid, you got a problem with your kid on Friday, come watch your kid practice during the week. You'll see what's wrong.
Yeah, see, that's why I
Um,
wish.
Real.
I know I probably couldn't coach with you because I would be the one to go to the parent. Hey, look, man, your son is G League, okay? He has a lot of work before he can even step foot on this field. I know you can't say that a dweller, but I would see it, okay? Because
and
it's
honestly,
about transparency, man. Like,
right. But
I
here's
don't
my thing.
understand. Like, and see,
I
that's
honestly
did
don't
high
feel
school
that way
football
about
change,
kids.
huh?
I don't feel that way about kids. I feel like because I was a late bloomer, right? So who knows a kid's ceiling? Who knows if he's gonna hit a growth spurt? Who knows if he's gonna finally get his mindset right and take it seriously?
Yeah.
Who knows something will happen to him? You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you what the finished product's going to be. My only problem is I stay in the trenches, and that's why consistency is so important, right? What if you do? How many kids you seen grow 6 inches? It's so crazy watching my JV
Yeah.
kids come back even in January and then go through the first cycle of lifting. And by March, I'm like, you are 3 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier than you were 6 months ago. This is kind of cool. It's like you're watching
Yeah.
your own kids grow up
Yeah,
before
yeah,
your
yeah.
eyes, man. So
I
like,
feel that.
Yeah, man. So
It's funny,
again,
I was gonna say that's why you're a head coach and I'm a dad in the stands. So that kind of explains everything
not
right
even
there.
that, man. You just because here's the thing: you're a player, Bryn, still, right? So that's the
Yeah.
first thing I had to when I was a young coach, right? I was kind of volunteering. I coached the Culpeper some years ago when I was still playing. When I first started playing arena ball, or whatever, because you're done in late spring, so you get to come home for the summer and in the fall. So
Yep.
what we did was most of us would play all spring and summer, and then come back and like coach at our high schools or and long-term substitute teacher, personal train, and make our money before we go to camp. That way you stay in shape, you come back, you're good, stay out of trouble. So first thing I had to abandon to be a good coach, I had to realize, hey man, the whole why can't you do what I can do? It's not something you can bring to the table. And that's the first time you realize that you as a player were pretty special because, yeah, why can't they do what you do? Because they're not you.
Yep.
And as soon as you realize, you know what I'm saying, that hey, you were kind of special and these kids are not you and they have their own skill set they bring to the table. They have their own shortcomings they bring to the table and they have their own journey. Why can't they do what I do? Because they're not you. Once you put it aside, because a lot of things you realize came easy to us that we did not um, think was so easy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely. But and then that does make sense actually a lot. And then it's not easy for somebody else though. So I mean, and that's where I do understand where I say I want to coach. I really do. But I know I still have to learn patience because I do have to realize that some of these kids are just not going to be capable of doing the things that I think they should be able to do, just because I was able to do it.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah,
it's rough to have flashbacks, man. For real, man. It's real rough because I do have my moments where like, man, why can't y'all do this? This is so easy. I could do this without even trying. And their journey's not your journey. I'm like, I gotta realize, okay, yeah, I played AAA ball. I got a state championship. You know what I'm saying? I was a guy who like I came from a program, you couldn't miss a day, you wouldn't have no spot. You know what I'm saying? Every day was competition. Our coaches ain't yell at us. What they gotta yell at us? There's 90 of us on the team. You don't want to play with 4 deep. Put some else in, okay?
Yeah.
So it was something where, hey, and again, championship teams are self-police, right? There's standards that were set. Half the time we got in trouble, our coaches never got to us. You'd have to see somebody in the locker room.
Yeah.
And you were more scared of some upperclassmen that could put hands on you versus the coach that go yell at you. You know what I'm saying? So like, those things what happened. We were, hey, look, in Culpeper, you know what I'm saying? In my days, I can talk about it now. You do something wrong, you have to see about somebody in the locker room. Right. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're gonna deal with it. Don't worry about it, coach. We got it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not saying we're gonna make it that extreme to like on some program levels. Again, that was the late '90s, late turn of the century. I'm not promoting, hey, we go fight somebody in the locker room, but we are promoting, hey, leaders, and it always got to be upperclassmen. Leaders on our team have to hold everyone else accountable who's not holding the standard, man.
Yep. I'm glad you said that. You talked about Culpeper. Who poured into you when you were coming up, and how do you pass that on?
Who poured into me as far as like coaches, as far as leaders, as far as who, like anybody?
I would say anybody, just anybody coming up.
First thing I got to give it to Lou Sorrentino, man, my head coach, man, at Culpeper, man. Papa Lou is like one of the greatest men I ever met in my life, man. Again, and I told him about this, and he had the good fortune, right? He blessed me, man, to come out and talk to the kids this summer, man. It was a real full circle moment to have your head coach at high school get to come see you as the first year head coach at high school. It was kind of cool, man. Good day for me. But just again, my senior year, I didn't get in like trouble. I had a study hall teacher that didn't like me so much, man, and
I know what that
he was like, he was a part-time administrator. He was like, look, man, before you get yourself in some trouble, just come with me. And I got to sit with him in the middle of the day while he did all his administrative work and not realizing, hey, that's a head coach. Realizing it now that I'm a head coach, right, and see how stretched out I am throughout the day, right? How many people I interact with during the day. You don't really have one-on-one time with anybody throughout the day.
Yeah.
And me at 17 years old, 16 years old, I got to spend an hour and a half, almost 2 hours a day with this man who's a Virginia High School League Hall of Famer, right? And understand how he operates, how he deals with his offseason, how he met with college coaches, you know what I'm saying? How he talked to players, how he did fundraisers, small things of that nature, how he dealt with disgruntled parents, how he dealt with, putting together practice plans. He was doing all that stuff in the offseason program implementation, all that stuff. It's really how he dealt with people on a daily basis, you know what I'm saying? And me getting to just have that model behavior to me every day for like 2 hours a day long before I even knew I wanted to be a coach.
Yeah.
So when I find myself doing things, I stop and laugh sometimes because like it's second nature because I've been indoctrinated by the program so much. But him, my OC in high school, Todd Campbell, shout out TC, man. That's my man. Coach Shaw, my OC in college, man. God, it really poured into me and loved me a lot, man. understood my football acumen, understood my talent, and let me spin. You know what I'm saying? And really like,
Yeah.
you know, was there for me consistently on a daily basis. I've had some really good coaches, man. Shout out Johnny Anderson, JA, man, my first arena coach, man, that gave me a shot, man, and last person on the team to make the roster and end up going there and being a starter, man. Like my whole
Wow.
career wouldn't have happened if I ain't got that first. I've had a lot of guys, honestly, that poured into me, man. My pastors growing up. Shout out Reverend Martin. Shout out Reverend Branch, man. My grandparents, man. My family. I have no excuses, man. I've had a great support system, man. I've had a lot of people who love me and care about me and want me to
Amen.
succeed. So to the point where like all the naysayers, like the people I love far outweigh that, man. They've had such more of an impact on me. So I got to recalibrate myself sometimes when when the hate starts coming and then naysayers start coming. I'm a human being, man, right? So that affects me sometimes. And I got to stop and say, yo, there are far more people that have been sent to guide you and have helped you and have affected you positively, man. Just keep going, and you know what you're doing, and you're indoctrinated in your ways. You're right. So you gotta put all outside noise away, man, and just keep going forward in what I know, and I know what I know. And again, I have full belief in the program and belief in what I bring to the table. So it's gonna happen, man. Just a matter of when.
Hundred
Amen. I
percent,
believe it
man.
too.
Yeah, we believe in you for sure. I'll let Brain take us into vision and legacy.
Let me
All right.
see. Yeah, vision and legacy. But honestly, Micah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you take that because remember my phone
Okay.
died, so I don't have
Oh
my
yeah, yeah,
notes.
yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. All right. So vision legacy. What does success look like for you for this program 3 to 5 years from now?
Really, I think full turnaround, man. Competing for the Battlefield Championship every single year.
Yep.
Putting kids in school every year. We started that already. And again, the one thing I can take from this year, that I'm most proud of, and I can stand on. Hey, if you work my program and do what's asked of you, then you'll get what you want out of this. Hey, 1-9 team. I sent 3 kids to school already, and it's not
Yeah.
On 1 and 9.
it 1-9 team. I got not only 3 kids, 3 kids are college teammates. The same school took all 3 of them.
Wow, that's
So
cool.
shout out Shenandoah University, man. They
Shenandoah.
took
I
my
was about to
man.
say it's in
Yeah,
Shenandoah.
Shannon
Yeah.
took my
Yep.
left guard, took my starting boundary corner and my starting H-back fullback, man, and they got 3 good players that'll be with them, and to have guys who are going to be not only high school teammates but college teammates for the next 4 years is pretty cool.
Definitely.
As
That's
far as
dope.
legacy, man, again, just putting good people in the community, the wins and stuff will happen. Already got guys I've won championships with. You know what I'm saying? Again, people can vouch for me. Bryn can vouch for me. Hey, me and him locked in the rest of our lives. We won that together. They can't take it from us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's that's one of those things where, yeah, rings and accolades are cool, but people and experiences and making better men in the community is something I can stand on as far as vision and legacy. I got a heap of kids from Spotsylvania High School that have come out and have played college ball in the world, can vouch for me. They're all good people. They're all good fathers. They're all good husbands. They're all good,
Right.
employees, man. So I feel like that's just the act of service that entwines in a job is just as important as winning games, man. If you do that, that'll speak for itself, man. And again, that's where
Wow.
I'm at now. I've got and the blessing of this is to be overseas, and I've got guys all over the world now who are doing this.
Yeah.
Guys
Amen.
who have gotten other pro opportunities, man. My man Matt Major in Australia. Went from the Stingrays, went to play professionally in Poland. My man Christian Denton, my dog over there, plays a star 4-2-5 guy outside backer hopper safety type, man. Got his first pro opportunity in Germany this year, man. So it's like guys who are moving on, doing this, doing that. My man Ryan, my man Eddie, and Faber, they're going on playing in GFL right now. So it's like guys who, you spend a little bit of time with and they did the work, man. I'm not taking credit for it, but
Right.
again, when they will freely and happily name you as somebody that's an influence for them and their path, man, it's a great feeling, man. So yeah, again, putting great people out, the wins will come, and obviously we want to stack some championships, put some banners up in there so you have something as landmarks and time marks of your time there, what you've done, and that's to come. Yeah.
Man, you actually answered the next question because I was gonna say beyond wins and losses, what kind of young men and if any women want to come out and play football, do you want to produce? And you kind of answered that. You would much rather, of course, we want to win football games, but it sounds like you would much rather them win in life after football.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Well, winning is the byproduct of good people, right? You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you're doing the right things, your habits are good, and you're consistent. Look at you guys, right? Every day consistent. Every day showing up to work. Every day showing up for your families. Every day doing your artistic work in the podcast thing. You're doing it consistently every single day. Look how it's building. Look how it's growing. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of when. This is a very detailed approach. And if you guys were not successful and high level athletes, you wouldn't be able to vibe off one another. The energy you guys have, and again,
That's true.
I wouldn't sit down and just talk shop with just anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
people like to talk, you know what I'm saying, for whatever. So when you guys hit me, absolutely, because again, good young men, good family members, good fathers, great employees in their own respect, putting out things and providing and doing what they're supposed to do. Again, that's a byproduct of winning, right? Our foundation is set through athletics, and the winning takes care of itself once you take care of those things. So,
yeah, I'm just glad you didn't charge us 1,000 to get up on here.
Nah, bro, ain't doing that. Pro bono, baby, just for the love, man, all day.
my boy.
No, that's beautiful, man. I really love that. And man, I love the vision. I love the vision you have for Chancellor High School. I love the vision you have for kids. And it to me, it seems like, whether you are interacting with kids in the school on the team or in school, you're really making an impact on, positively affecting these kids,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just again, model behavior, man, is everything, and I've become more cognizant of that as I've grown in the game and grown as a man. Man, is understanding. Hey, I still feel youthful in my head, but I'm 42 now, man. I gotta, be more mindful and purposeful with my days, man, and the people I come across. I've been around for a while now, so we're like, hey, yeah, it seems like not that long ago, Bryn, me and you, 2010, 2011, that was over a decade ago,
I
man.
know,
Coming
that's
up on
crazy,
two, you
right?
know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And again. I'm like, dang, I've been retired from football for like 15 years. Talking to,
Yeah.
I'm talking to some of my pro teammates that we've got 15-year anniversaries coming up. I've been
Yeah,
out of college for 20 years. I've been out of high school for like 25 years. It's like
yeah,
time slips by when you're having fun, as they say, right? The days are long, but the years are short, man. So you got to make your time here,
true.
valuable, man. We know not the day nor the hour, man. So I'm just thankful. I've been a vessel, man, to come out and minister to these people, man, in every
man.
aspect.
I love that, man. So we're gonna do something to wrap it up. It's called rapid fire. So one word answers.
All right.
One word to describe your coaching philosophy.
Detailed.
I like that. I like that. All right. Practice or game day? Which one do you prefer?
As a coach, practice.
I like that. That's real.
That was a good one.
Yep. All right. Favorite artist to listen to before a game, and I want your player mind, and then your coach mind.
Yeah.
Player mind Wayne, coach mind Bob,
I like that. I like
I
that.
like that.
or PT. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
High school me Pastor Troy, of course, I did.
hardest lesson you've had to teach a player.
Accountability.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
That's real.
Accountability.
That's yes, sir. If you weren't coaching, what would you be doing full time? And I feel like we know the answer, but I wanna know what you guys say.
Be torn, man. You know the vibes. Be on the
Yes,
road.
sir. Yes, sir.
Cool, man.
I love
Boy,
that,
y'all are
man.
cool, man.
Man, Adela, this has been awesome. And like Brent said, we're probably gonna do this multiple times. And I just thought of something while we were on this call. If you're open to it, I think it would be cool if we could review, like we could do like a Sunday call after a game. Me and Brent actually want to
During the season.
during the
Yeah,
season.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. We
Yeah.
do a recap every day, or we can even a pregame type of thing on a Thursday, man. I don't mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
That would be cool. And guess what else too, man? It'd be awesome. And I know they have to earn this, but get the player of the game on here as a guest too with you. You know what I
That'd
mean?
be
That'd be
cool.
awesome.
I don't mind it at
Yeah.
all, man. I don't mind it at all. And
Yeah.
and you guys, again, Chancellor guys, man. So again, I put on for you guys, man. I remember the legacy
Appreciate
guys who were there before. That's important to me as well. We got to put on for a place the guys who are personally invested on it. And again, I brought guys in. Shout out Chris Holmes on the staff now. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing in
That's
guys
cool.
who are,
it.
Love it.
real Chancellor
Love it.
alums who can understand this place means something to them. You know what I'm saying? And help get through these guys, man. So again, hey, I'm doing with everything I got going on in mind, but understand I'm thinking about you guys every day when I'm out there too, man. So
And man, I wish I was out there with you, bro.
Yes, sir.
indeed.
Same here, man. We appreciate you, man. This has been awesome. Brent, you got anything you want to close out with?
Nah, man, I'm always going to be thankful and grateful for a dweller, man. He taught me a lot when it came to the game of football. I looked up to him as a man, as a father. So I'm always grateful for him, man. And I just hope, and I don't even hope, I know. It's like what you said. It ain't if it's, it's not when, it's not if, it's when, right?
Indeed.
You guys are going to be, Chancellor, we are going to get back to being a winning program. Tap in, buy in, because I promise you, a dweller wins championships, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, man. Hey, we got to holler back, man. We appreciate everybody tapping in. Catch me in Micah tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Actually, we might do 8 a.m., but we'll figure it out, man. All right. Holler back, man. We out of here.
Y'all be blessed, bro.